Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. I was speaking with a couple the other day, and they asked me, they said, hey, Pastor Joe, we have our bug out bags. What should we do next? You know, what is our next step in preparedness? And I told them, well, the first thing you need to do is go buy my book, Survivalist Family, Prepared Americans for a Strong America. It's available on Amazon.com. You should buy it too. But then I answered their question. And in a way, because you see, I can't answer the question for you. I can give you things to think about, but in the end, it's going to come down to you and what do you think? What do you assess as your own needs, you know, based on the situation developing as you see it developing? Because unfortunately, neither I nor anybody else out there, you know, survival guru, can give you the answers. You really do have to go find them for yourself. The basics are simple, right? You know, DHS, FEMA, Red Cross, everybody tells you have 2 weeks supply of food in your house, have, you know, 3 days to a week in your vehicle, have some at your office, at your workplace, you know. So if you add it up, it's about 3 weeks of food, you know, that the authorities are telling you to have, and water, and, you know, the average you know, rule of thumb that they put out there is have a gallon of water per person per day. And so if you're going to have a month's worth of water, you need 30 gallons of water per person. That starts being a lot of water. We went over some techniques for how to store that water. So food, water, medicine. You know, if you're on medicine, you need to have that taken care of. You need to be self-sufficient according to the government, you know, for about a month. Right? If you really look into it, if you add the car and the bob and the stuff you keep at work and stuff like that, it's all about a month's worth of supplies, 3 weeks or so. And that's what they're telling the people who shop at Walmart, you know, the common people. And so if that's what they're telling all Americans, don't you think you might be a little bit smarter than the average American? I hope you are. And so really, I think you need at least a couple months worth of food. Storing a couple months worth of water is difficult, and so you have to know how to get more water. Where do you find it? How do you purify it? And those kind of things. I talk about them in my book also, and you know, you can find that out on the internet. Maybe I'll shoot a video on that. But water and food and medicine, you need that, because plan A should always be shelter in place. That is a good plan. That's where you know the people, and you know the environment, you know the patterns that are going on there. And so have that taken care of. So, okay, fine. And they had that, actually. And so, what next? Do you get a bug-out vehicle? You know, what's a bug-out vehicle? I mean, this one looks pretty cool, right? You know, it's my little FJ. You know, a crew cab pickup truck's a lot more practical. What's your bug-out vehicle? Your bug-out vehicle is your vehicle, you know. And you should maintain your vehicle. You should take care of it. You should learn how to work on your vehicle, and you learn by doing, you know, the Hebrew way, learn by doing. I grew up not knowing how to work on cars. I made my son learn how to work on cars, and now he's really good, and I'm fair. You know, I'm learning. I'm still learning. And so you should keep your vehicles tuned up, because if you have to bug out, you know, really, if you have to bug out, you know what you really need? You need a car that works, you need a credit card, and car keys. Right? And go stay at a Holiday Inn. Probably for 80% of your bug out situations, you know, that'll work. Or, you know, go stay with Aunt Mabel or something. But it's for the ones that might be a regional disaster or something. There is no room at the inn. You know, now we need to start having preparation. So keep your regular daily driver running. That's a good thing. Keep your life in order. You know, stay on top of those little things so you don't have a crisis. All right, what next? Do you get a bug out location? Yes. You know, if you watch my videos, if you read my old blog, you know, Viking Preparedness at blogspot.com, I think is what it is. I wrote a lot on bugging out in that blog back in the day. And you need a place to go. That doesn't necessarily mean you need to buy a place, but you need to arrange for a place. And then you need to figure out how you're going to get there. A couple different ways. Maybe cache things en route. There's a couple projects for you. Set things up there, you know, build a cabin there, store some food there, some water there, that kind of thing. Start meeting the locals, start hanging out there, you know, once a month or so, that kind of thing. Now, it could be a place like, you know, Shofar Mountain, or it could be Aunt Mabel's farm, something like that. Go help Uncle Dick work on the farm every now and then so that, you're not a burden when you get there. But yeah, you should start working on an alternate plan B. You should always have a plan B. And you should always have a plan C. Plan A, stay home. Plan B is go somewhere. Where is somewhere? Figure that out. And then maybe start working on something else. Now you've taken care of, prepper things, right? That'll see you through a short-term problem. If you think, like I do, that things could get worse than a short-term problem, unless you have a lot of money and can store years worth of supplies and then pay a guard force to guard it so nothing happens to it, you're going to have to start getting more self-sufficient. You're going to have to start producing. Permaculture is a fascinating concept to me, and it's so much deeper than food forests and, swales and stuff like that. It's all about sustainable living. And being able to do it again and again and again. And I've told you this before, start gardening. Get a couple chooks, get a couple chickens. Learn how to use them. Goats are easy to take care of. They're easier than sheep. And you can throw it in your car and take it to the vet, unlike a cow. But start growing, producing your own food. Start thinking about energy independence. How are you going to do that? I've been living off the grid now for a year. And man, I don't even have solar, and so once we get our solar, we're going to be in high cotton. It'll be nice. And if I can do it, you can do it. If my wife can do it, you can do it. And you can just take little steps, but start getting more self-sufficient. Start working on that. Form a group. Get in a group. Get with some people. You can't do this alone. You, your wife, and your 2.3 children cannot do this alone. So you need to find a group of people. You need to form a group of people. And, my mom used to say, if you want to have a friend, be a friend. Be a little bit friendly to people. Start talking to people. I always get comments when I say things like that. Oh, you don't know where I live. My neighbors are meth heads and yada, yada, yada. Guess what? So are mine. And I get along with them. Work with people. Because when the times come, that's what you got. And so it's easier to work with people now. So start working on your people skills. It's not about stuff. Beyond a certain point, it's not about stuff. It's about skills, your skills that you have, skills that you can surround yourself with. My daughter-in-law lives at Shofar Mountain, and she just went to doula school, which is kind of like a midwife that focuses on the mom instead of the baby. Probably going to end up being a midwife eventually. That's a skill set, Pastor Joe doesn't have, but I can see that as being a valuable skill set, and so we're going to support her on that. Maybe you could pool your money and help somebody get some training in your group that would then benefit the group. Things like that. Start getting trained, start learning how to fend for yourself, because when this puppy all goes up and goes away, it's going to be you and what you got, And again, it's not about stuff. You may have to leave all your stuff at 2 o'clock in the morning and have nothing but, the coat you're wearing and the shoes on your feet if God blesses you with them. And so then it's what you're carrying around in your head. And get spiritually strong, whatever that means to you, because when hard times come, you're going to need something greater than yourself to fall back on. And you know my views, right? But you need to get strong. Start steeling yourself for the road to come. Start doing the hard things. Hard people do hard things. Start going out when it's raining. Start going out when it's cold and doing things. Get used to it, so pretty soon it's nothing but a thing, My wife and son have milked goats in the sleet before we had milking sheds. They just, got to milk the goat when it's time to milk the goat. How do you get used to doing that? By doing it. So start doing the hard things. Start thinking long-term survival. How are you going to live? It's up to you. You figure it out. And I hope to help you along the way. I'll see you out there.